No, it's what did people hear me? People, oh my God, I think we were live when I said that.
It's fine. Everything's
Were we
fine.
live when I said that? Did everybody
Probably.
hear me? Oh my God, did you guys hear me say that? Oh my God. Did you hear me say it? Did you guys hear me say
Immediately we're gonna get blocked because of your mouth.
Did you guys hear me say that? Oh my God, I said a naughty word. Did you guys hear me? Oh God, I said a naughty word. Did you guys hear me? Did you guys? You didn't hear me say a naughty word?
No, people didn't hear it. They missed it.
Thank you.
Okay.
Jesus. Okay. Okay, good. Woo! Okay, it's the morning.
Good morning. Okay. Happy Friday, everybody.
Happy Friday. We're here. Totally unprepared. We're kind of behind. What's new though? Every day here on the Chicks on the Right, we get together for like an hour before the show and we prepare so hard for you.
So hard.
I didn't know, David. I didn't say the F word. I never say the F word.
How dare you suggest
that I would say that word? Never. Okay, listen, you guys. Before we begin, I have to tell you that I think I have a major sinus infection. First of all, I'm going to get that taken care of today. I will. I'm going to get it taken care of. I will. But second of all, we talked to Hanala. I'm going to get this right because I always screw up her last name. She's so lovely. Hanala Felig. What's
Harrell?
Harrell. Thank you.
Yes.
I was waiting her last name. She's a podcaster and a singer, and her podcast is The Weekly Squeeze. And we talked to her yesterday. We recorded it yesterday. She's in Israel, and we talked to her yesterday, and it's going to come out tomorrow. And you guys, it's awesome. If you want like a firsthand account of what's actually going on in Israel, what happened on October the 7th, you need to listen to that podcast. It drops tomorrow. Valen will have that out tomorrow. So definitely check that out. Okay.
And she's been on the show. You might remember her from being on the show in the past. Mm-hmm. We've had her on. It's been a while, like a long while.
Yeah, about a year ago.
She was great then. She was great yesterday, and it was great.
Yeah, you definitely want to check that out. So do that tomorrow.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay, so good morning. Lots to get to. This is Georgia-Tennessee weekend, so we've got some rivalry happening.
We're
all up in here. And I made the mistake of scheduling my husband and I's anniversary dinner right smack dab in the middle of that game, which was a really dumb thing to do on my part. But like now we can't cancel because then I feel like I'm not a good wife, and that we're not even that I'm not a good wife, but that we're not a good married couple fully celebrating our anniversary if we don't go. So we're going.
I should have worn. Should I have worn like orange today? I probably should have.
You probably should have.
Yeah, I probably should have. I'm sorry.
You probably should have.
They did their. She was like asking me the other day. She's like, should I cancel? Should I? Because her husband got a little like weird about the whole anniversary. He's like, oh my God, you scheduled this dinner like during our anniversary, and then she's like, should I cancel? Should we keep it? I'm like, you keep it, and then you just get the reservations like right next to the TV. And she's like, is that wrong? I'm like, no, the fact that you guys still go out on your anniversary, I think that's completely fantastic. That's awesome.
All we do. Like we do cards and we do a dinner, and that's like all we do. And so I thought, well, we can't not do it. You know what I mean? So I did. I sent the restaurant. It's my favorite restaurant. They know me. Like I feel like it's not going to be a problem at all to get seated where there's a television. And so we've been just teasing each other about how romantic our dinner is going to be with us like this the whole time watching a TV screen. I was like, normally we'd be gazing adoringly into each other's eyes, but no.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a little bit different. But yeah, it's going to be my anniversary tomorrow, 23 years.
That's amazing. Happy early anniversary, 23
Thank you.
years.
Very, very
awesome. Awesome. 23 years. Wow.
Yeah. Thank you, Laura Kate Baker. Laura says, happy Friday, everyone. Love you all. Mock and Daisy rock. Thank you so much. And thank you, Robert Fitzgibbon. That's very, very generous. Thank you so much. And Roxanne, thank you. She says, love starting my day with the chicks. Thank you so much, everybody.
Thank you.
Okay. Let's just do a few quick hits before we get into some video content, because we have a lot to get to. The first thing that we need to mention is apparently Steven Crowder, I don't know how he got his hands on this, but he got his hands on the fact that Dylan Mulvaney made $165,000 for that Bud Light campaign that he did. $165,000. I don't know how Steven Crowder found that out.
How is he getting his hands on everything these days? How is he being like the scoopy guy these days?
I don't know. About? Maybe he's hired like some super good investigative journalist
Scoopy
type of people.
Yeah.
Scoopy people.
$165,000. I feel like that's actually kind of low for what he did. You know what I mean?
Because he did 2 videos, right? Didn't he do 2?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's not bad for 2 minutes of work.
Well, I guess you're right. It's not bad for 2 minutes of work. But I mean, the fact that he tanked the company, it's like,
yeah, I hope they thought that was worth it.
Was it worth it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Good
so
job.
That is a thing.
Bud Light.
I don't believe this headline for a second, but a headline was going around like crazy yesterday saying that Snoop Dogg is giving up smoking. He's dropping it like it's pot.
How old is he? He's got to be like...
He's got to be 50 something, right?
Late 50s. He's got to be late 50s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, just now he's going to just all of a sudden stop smoking anything. I just don't buy it.
Yeah. Like smoking pot, smoking cigarettes. Because I don't know. He smokes all the things, right? He's everything.
I just don't see him stopping.
I mean,
just don't see it.
Okay.
And also Hunter Biden's baby mama, the mother of Navy, the forgotten grandchild until like 3 months ago.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
She has written an op-ed for the Daily Mail. I'm sure you can still find it. I saw it yesterday.
Did she really write it? Did you think she really wrote it?
I did, because it was like, it sounded pretty.
Was it really? You read it? You actually read it? It was like, oh my God, he's so great, you guys. Heart,
essentially.
Smiley. Yeah. Was it like that?
Essentially, it was kind of like that. She is coming out in support of Hunter, and like she's saying that everybody's just being too mean to him, and that she's really proud of the work he's done in his recovery, and that he's trying really hard to be a good dad. Completely forgetting, I guess, about the fact that he denied paternity until she dragged him to court. But now he's like the best dad ever. And like Navy's super excited about her dad and loves her dad. And they're developing this amazing relationship. And the press is just so mean to Hunter. And she wants everybody to know that she's pulling for him and she's got his back. And I think she's been paid handsomely.
Totally. She's totally been paid. There's money. There's money
so
there
much money
that's being handed over. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, right. That has to be it, right?
I saw something the other day where there's a picture of her daughter and there's like all sorts of designer stuff in the picture. Like she's one of those that like her tiny little tot daughter has like designer stuff on, like, I don't know, like Gucci or Louis Vuitton or something. She's one of those. You know what I mean?
Because how old is she now? She's got to be what, like 4 or 5?
Yeah. And I was like, and I just remember thinking, really? Really? That's kind of weird. You know what I mean?
Okay.
That's kind
of right, Kardashian.
Yeah. Yeah, it was like just sort of odd. I just thought that was kind of,
interesting.
Anyways, yeah.
So that's the thing. And then lastly, George Santos, who is one of the worst Congress people ever. The House Ethics Committee released a report yesterday that demonstrated that he used campaign finance funds for the purposes of his own pleasure, including things like Airbnb expenses. He paid off his personal credit cards. He used it for OnlyFans. He got himself some Botox treatments.
Where did dudes use Botox?
Well, his face is very, very plasticky.
Is he like, really?
He's like, or so maybe it's, I mean, he does the Botox and he does whatever you do to make it full.
Dudes do that.
I mean, you can, he's just gross on every level.
He's all puffy and plasticky. That's so weird.
Yeah.
Okay.
Allegedly, he is not going to run for re-election in light of this report, thank God. But whether or not he even stays as a congressman until the next election, that is up for debate. A lot of people talking about having him expelled. So, I mean, he's just vile in every way. And so that has also happened. So those are your pre-video headlines. And I want to make sure to remind everybody that Field of Greens is holding their massive Black Friday sale right now. So, you know, you might be thinking you're a total picture of health person because you do your multivitamin every day. But if you're not getting enough fruits and vegetables, you still need a little boost. And Field of Greens can give you that boost in just a delicious tasting, yummy, fruity drink. And they're doing their flash sale right now. It's at fieldofgreens.com. Use promo code SALE. I know that's different than our usual Chicks promo code, but that's because this is a very different sale. This is their massive Black Friday sale where you get 30% off of Field of Greens. This is a really, really big discount. So please take advantage of it. Order today, fieldofgreens.com, and then use promo code SALE. You're going to notice things like better energy, healthier looking skin, hair, nails. It helps with your digestion, all the things that fruits and veggies give you. You're going to get at Field of Greens with Field of Greens, fieldofgreens.com. Excuse me. A couple more people to thank. Caching Cadre, thank you. Morning, you wonderful ladies. I just passed my 2nd month of healing up from bypass surgery. It is great to be alive. Happy anniversary, Mock. Wow, congrats.
That is awesome.
Month 2. That's a big deal.
That is
and
awesome.
Luke, thank you. He says happy anniversary, Ms. Miriam. Thank you so much, Luke. Thank you, everybody. Appreciate it very, very much. I hope, am I forgetting it? Yes, Michelle Boyd. Thank you very much. Very happy anniversary, Mock. You enjoy your anniversary date. Yeah, it's going to be super romantic with us watching the game. And then I forgot. Well, I didn't forget, but I think it happened right when we were signing off yesterday. And of course, yesterday there was a lot of hullabaloo with your connection and all of that stuff.
Oh my gosh, I'm sorry about that, you guys. It was so fluky.
So fluky. And so in the middle of all that, I neglected to recognize Stephanie Mum for this super sticker because she said, not a West Coast girl. She's the one whose super sticker we missed before. She rarely catches us live. And I thought it was because she was West Coast, but she says, no, not a West Coast girl, just a night owl like Mama Alice.
Like Mama Alice.
But love catching the lives when I can. Always start my day with the chicks.
Yes.
That is so nice.
Mama Alice does not get up before 9 a.m. She just does not do it, you guys.
All right. So let's just right out of the gate address the fact that TikTok is exposing some of the dumbest people alive, and they are just now discovering Osama bin Laden's letter to America that is not new at all, obviously, because he's dead. And it's always been public. It's not been something that's been a secret. But all of these idiots on TikTok have apparently just now discovered it thanks to an article in The Guardian, and they have since taken it down because they're horrified by the reaction. But just to give you an idea of what's happening, these morons are reading Osama bin Laden's letter to America, which clearly states all the reasons that he attacked us, namely because we have our own laws here and we don't put religion above them. We actually create laws in the United States separate from religion. And of course, he's a person who believes Sharia law should be the law of the land everywhere. That is why he attacked the United States and killed 3,000 Americans. The idiots who are reading this letter and believing him when he says that the United States is essentially the biggest perpetrator of violence and terror in the whole entire world, they are actually believing him. And just to give you an example of some of the videos.
This morning I read Letter to America, which is Osama bin Laden's letter to America explaining why he attacked Americans. And I am ashamed to say that I not only have never read this letter, but I didn't even know this letter existed. It's wild, and everyone should read it. If you haven't read it yet, read it. However, be forewarned that this has left me very disillusioned, and I feel the same exact way I felt when I was deconstructing Christianity. I feel a little bit just confused, like I have entered into another timeline. What is this? And yeah, so go read it.
So I just read A Letter to America.
Oh my God.
And I will never look at life the same. I will never look at this country the same. Please read it. And if you have read it, Let me know if you are also going through an existential crisis in this very moment, because in the last 20 minutes, my entire viewpoint on the entire life I have believed and I have lived has changed.
I loved this headline from the Daily Mail. It's perfect. Never been dumber. Never been dumber.
Never been dumber. So read the top part. So for people who are listening, get to read the top part.
It says anti-Israel Gen Zers send bin Laden's 2002 letter to America viral. Terror chief's 9/11 justification wins support among pro-Palestinian Americans who claim their eyes have been opened.
Look at these dumbass kids.
God.
I mean, they're just dumb. And there have been obviously stuff has been floating around all over. I mean, this went obviously completely viral yesterday. It blew up. This was like the story yesterday, and it'll be the story today. I'm sure all over. It's going to be splashed all over the news. Everybody's going to be talking about it. And I think on one of the threads that my blood was boiling over yesterday, I think some millennial person said, you know, this is because of daycare and public school. And we talked about this a little bit in preschool and pre-show. We talked about it in pre-show a little bit. And I don't think that's why. I think the reason for this is because this is the first generation that has been raised by screens. It's the first generation that's been raised by the internet. Because if you think about it, the past 20 years, I mean, this is my hypothesis anyway. The past 20 years, these kids have had their heads down in freaking screens, the internet. This is the first internet generation. And I mean, this is it. This is the result of it. These kids are stupid, you guys. They're stupid.
Yeah. Well, I would definitely agree that it's not a preschool issue, but schools are certainly a big part of this. And it's parents ignoring what is happening in their kids' schools.
Lack of parenting. Well, that goes hand in hand with kids being raised by the internet. And I fought with a couple people yesterday, and I was like, we need parenting. It's like there's been such a lack of parenting. I mean, I can tell you right now, we've got a 34-year-old, a 29-year-old. He's going to be 30 this week. And then we've got a 13-year-old. My older kids don't believe this garbage. I mean, our older kids are 34 and 29, and they would never believe this crap. They would never look at us and say, oh my gosh, I just now, read this. I know who Osama bin Laden is. They know exactly who that guy is. Yeah. They know exactly what happened on 9/11 because we have taught them. And that's lack of parenting. So much of this is just what have we done? It's just like Megyn Kelly said, we have failed. We have failed as parents. If they don't know who this guy is and what he did and who these people are and what they've done to America, then we have failed as parents.
Well, and that was the main message that I had in a video that we put on our Chicks on the Right TikTok. So because somebody's got to be out there on TikTok combating all this bullcrap. Right. And so please go watch that. First of all, Chicks on Right on TikTok. And if you have a chance and you want to be depressed, read the comments, because the mind-numbingly stupid, just abject ignorance of the people that comment. Now, granted, there's a lot of people out there that were like, thank you for saying this, but there's tons, an uncomfortable amount of people who are saying, but did you read it? Because he totally is justified. America's awful. I mean, and then there were literal threats from psycho Arab people with their, with the crazy, like, I can't even read the names because it's in Arabic. Saying we're coming for you. Watch yourselves because this is, he was right and you're next. I mean, just like abject threats on our TikTok. It's amazing. And you should check that out because it's a big fight to have.
And I wonder how these kids feel about that. I wonder how they feel about you're next. Because
they don't think it through.
They're not exactly. And that's like, do they even wonder about that? I mean, are they gonna, when we are next, because we are next, are they going to be like taking up arms with them because they're so pissed off in America? They're so disillusioned and they're like, oh my God, America sucks so bad because they've been taught to hate America. instead of loving their country because they've been taught the exact opposite, are they going to take up arms with these terrorists? Because that's precisely what they are. They have been taught that terrorists are somehow the victims in all of this. And that seriously, that's what we're seeing at colleges right now, that terrorists are the victims somehow. It's just so weird to say that out loud. Are they going to be like, oh my God, okay, well, I'm going to fight with you to destroy America? Is that what they're going to do?
I have no idea how they separate themselves from America when it comes to this kind of stuff. You know what I mean? It's coming here, and it's because of their idiotic attitudes. I hate to say it, but it's like that's what it's going to take for them to realize, oh wow, I'm not exempt from terror. Somehow I'm not invincible as I thought I was.
It's just,
these people are so stupid.
Absolute ignorance. It's madness. These people are, these kids are brainwashed.
I tend to agree with Vivek on this issue because I know he is on TikTok and he insists that as long as there is a TikTok, there's got to be alternate voices on it. And I agree with him about that because the rampant ignorance that is allowed out there, there's got to be a counter to it for as long as TikTok is allowed to continue to exist. And that's the question. That's the conversation that is probably going to happen more often. It did happen with Martha McCallum and Representative Gallagher yesterday in light of how stupid all these kids are being. Take a listen. And
all morning, go for it.
So this disturbing trend on TikTok, Congressman Gallagher, of mostly young people, the ones that I saw, sharing Osama bin Laden's letter to America that he wrote the year after 9/11 to sort of describe all of the reasons for what he did and try to justify the attacks on 9/11. And these people responding to this letter, which has now been taken down, saying things like, he was right, this is mind-blowing, my mind is now open, are so deeply disturbing to me as I watched them this morning. And I would imagine that as people start to get a look at this, they will be very disturbed as well. Let's watch some of this.
Girl, what? They found the letter. What letter? The letter. What letter? Osama's letter.
So I just read a letter to America.
Okay, we've seen that
going through like an existential crisis right now.
So this is a really good example of narrative control.
You know, Congressman Gallagher, they go on to say terrorism was sold to the American people as if these terrorists just woke up and said one morning, we hate America. Let's go kill as many people as we can. And they conclude, one of them, that it was just our government failing. 9/11 was just our government failing other countries. What would you say about this, sir?
Well, these people are, of course, massive idiots. I just came from watching the footage that the Israeli embassy compiled about the October 7th attack. It is horrific. You're seeing Salafi jihadists, Hamas in this case, but Al-Qaeda was a Salafi jihadist organization, kill babies, behead innocent civilians with garden hose. These images are incredibly disturbing and show the true face of evil. So for someone on TikTok to somehow suggest that this is America's fault or that bin Laden, who killed thousands of innocent Americans, was right is absolutely disgusting and further evidence that we need to ban TikTok or force a sale before a Chinese-controlled app, before the Chinese Communist Party checkmates the free world by controlling the dominant media platform in America that can spread this dangerous, disgusting nonsense. It is time for a ban or a forced sale before it's too late.
Just to put an emphasis on it, the letter is 21 years old, and people felt like it just came out today. Mike Gallagher.
Yeah, I mean, this is the thing.
Wow.
An entire generation has been dumbed down. And I know people are pissed off at me because they're like, oh, you can't blame it on the parents. Well, I mean, you can't blame it all on the schools. And listen, because the schools suck. The schools are terrible. I blame it a lot on schools every single day. But at the same time, you know, you cannot just say, okay, well, every single person has to homeschool their kids and keep them at home, and like that's going to protect them. All of our kids have gone to public school, and they're not just lockstep believing all of this stuff. I think a lot of it is, you can parent your kids, and a lot of kids, a lot of parents are lazy. A lot of them, not all, but a lot of them are. Period. I mean, I'm not.
Or they're trusting that the public education system is going to be what they had. It's going to be the same for their kids as what we all grew up with.
Okay,
it's just not.
That's a good point. But then also there are also some mock. Okay, so that's one. But then two, there's some that are trusting, and then there are some that are complacent. They don't want to shake things up. There are some that are complacent where they're like, well, I don't want to say anything because I'm afraid that if I say something, people will look at me and they'll think that I'm speaking out because I'm too afraid to say something. And we've seen a lot of that over the past 15 years, especially conservative parents. We don't want to say anything against the status quo, especially in work environments or in neighborhood environments where if they say anything against this horrible, evil face of, like, dare I say, progressivism, because, they don't want to stand out in the crowd. And by doing that, if we have gone so far off the deep end in this country, and look at where it's gotten us with all of this nonsense.
I finally found this guy's name. So we've shown a couple of his videos before. His name is Danny Buller, Buller. So if you want to find him on Twitter or wherever, that's his name. So he also had a pretty strong reaction to this. Keep in mind that a lot of what you're hearing from him is heavy sarcasm. So, because he's in a state of disbelief, I think, as most of us are, that these kids are this stupid. So here he is.
So why attack America? Listen to this. You are a nation who choose to invent your own laws rather than to be ruled by the Sharia of Allah. You separate religion from your policies, contradicting the pure nature which affirms absolute authority to your creator. So basically, we attack you because you're not jihadists. If only we knew. If only we had been given this undisputed information back in 2001. We wouldn't have cried when those planes hit the World Trade Center. We would have been happy. As Americans, we should have celebrated the righteous acts of those freedom fighters who came to liberate us from our civil rights and bring the beloved Sharia law. I'm not kidding, by the way. There is a current trend of showing how happy you were when you found out that Bin Laden died and how sad you are now realizing he was right. Bin Laden was right. Bin fucking Laden. Are you kidding me? You just found out that he attacked you because he wanted to force radical Islam upon you, and you applaud him? What the fuck is wrong with you?
Exactly
right. I mean, he's
what the F.
Oh my God.
I know. I know.
What planet am I living on?
Megyn Kelly, as you mentioned, also just absolutely losing her mind over this, as so many of us are. I should have given the hide your kids, hide your wives warning before Danny's tirade right there, but I am giving it ahead of this one.
Get off your fucking iPhone. Pay attention to your child. Look at your kids' lessons. Get out, step down from the Women's March, which, by the way, it was totally anti-Semitic, and we called it out, as did many at the time. Do some parenting if you're going to bother having a child, and stop indoctrinating your own children, to those of you who are on the left, in this pernicious woke ideology, because this is where it lands. I'm very fired up about it, Carol. I feel like we're totally forgetting. Yeah. We're forgetting 9/11. And you know what's going to happen? It's going to happen again.
Yeah. Yes. Like any day now. I mean, geez, she's 150% correct. God, she had so many other things to say too. This is the thing. I mean, just everybody is so complacent. They think it's going to be somebody else. And they want to blame all these other things. It's like, freaking parent your kids.
Yeah.
It's let's blame all the things,
And in the meantime, if you can be an alternative voice on TikTok, I mean, I don't know any other way. Like that, to me, it's like you got to fight the fire with the fire, because you can be all, I'm anti-TikTok, and it's like China's, yes, it is awful, right? I mean, obviously we show the good parts of it every day, because that's the kind of stuff that I get in my feed, because I'm not a psychopath who gets shit like that in my feed. I don't get those kids because that's not an algorithm that I would ever be attracted to. And so, but if that is out there, other people, voices of reason, need to combat it in the hopes that it reaches at least one person. If that's what it reaches, it's worth it.
And if you're a parent,
oh my God.
And if you're a parent, don't let your kids on it. Don't let your kids use it. And if you're a grandparent, don't let your grandkids on it. And if your kids use don't let your kids use social media. If they use it, stalk them. Make sure that if your kid, seriously, I mean, I'm a big believer in, I understand my kid is probably like, I let her use one social media platform, and I'm on it with her. Like I have the password, I let her use it, and she's been responsible with it for the past year. She's used it, and we used it together, and now she uses it kind of she's alone using it. She has her own. It's not really, and I have the password, and I use it with her. If she ever misuses it, it's gone. She has one she gets to use. And the reason I let her use it is because I feel like social media is like guns. It's the way we treat social, and we tell her that. It's like using a gun. That's how dangerous they are. It's like we are okay. Like we are 2A family. All right. It's like she's going to learn how to use guns. She's going to learn how to use social media. You learn to use guns responsibly. You learn to use social media responsibly. That's how we treat it. It's like if you can't do that, you're not going to be able to use them.
Right.
And so
the problem is when they turn 18 and then they do whatever they want.
Right. But that's the thing.
Hopefully they've got a foundation.
And that's why that's why we let her use one, because if we didn't teach her how to use social media properly, like if we didn't give her the tools and the foundation to use one, then all of a sudden she'd be able to use all the things at 18. And then it's like, then what? You've not given her a foundation. That's why like all these people are like, don't let them use them at all. Okay, well, if you don't let them use them at all, then at 18, she's going to have all the things. And it's like giving him a gun for the first time without giving him the proper foundation. So that's my philosophy. And you may be different. Your mileage may vary, and that's fine. You do you. But that's how we do it with our kid. And it's worked for us. And she's been responsible so far. I stalk her.
It goes without saying that the world is a complete crap show right now. And so, no, that's not the one. I don't mean to show that. I don't know why that happens. This is what I want to show you. When the world feels like a total crap show, I never get a bigger sense than when the world is really feeling like super crappy, that I need to be prepared for any possible disaster or emergency. And the way that you can get yourself prepared and your family prepared is to have prepper type of supplies on hand. You can get so much amazing stuff from 4patriots.com/chicks. They have different deals every single week. And by the way, that's the number 4patriots.com/chicks. You know what they have this week, I just noticed, is emergency food bars. So we've talked about their emergency food kits before, but they've got these like lemon shortbread cookie type of bars that you can have on hand. This is amazing. Yeah, this is one of the things I know, right? Like it totally makes me want to eat that whole plate for breakfast.
I know. I know.
This is one of the things that is in this week's discounts. So check them out. Check out the deals before they go away. You can also get free shipping on orders that are over $97. So check it out 4patriots.com/chicks and get yourself prepared. And that's a great place to do it. All the solar power generators, all the different water treatment. I mean, there's so many things. Everything that you could ever think of and more is out there for you to get yourself prepared. Okay, so let's move on because we got to show how absolutely stupid our president is. It's unbelievable. The videos that you're about to see. Oh my God, you guys. It's bad. Okay. But first, let me just thank Ali Rue Gaudette. Thank you. She says, I pulled my child out of public school and I said all of the things. Nobody is going to shut me up. You go, girl.
Yes.
And GCQC, thank you. She says, we have a generation of children whose parents hand their phones over to babysit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's easy, right? It's the lazy way out. And because parents want to scroll. They got their own phones, they've got their heads in.
And listen, I'm sure a lot of people did that back in our day in front of television sets.
Right.
And television was a lot different than the internet. You know? A whole
you
hell of a lot different.
Together.
Right. I mean, it's a whole hell of a lot different than shoving us in front of like Bugs Bunny cartoons. You know what I mean?
Yes.
It's a different world, man.
It is. And now, unfortunately, the leader of this free world is Joe Biden, who at APEC looked so lost on the stage with the other world leaders. Just look at his face in this short video.
Oh my God.
What is he doing?
He has no idea. I mean, he just, oh my God, so embarrassing in every single way. Oh my God.
Oh my God. It just, oh my God.
You don't think, I have a theory on this.
Hang on, because he's about to talk.
The President of the United States.
What?
Sorry to keep you waiting. It's my fault.
Everything is. Literally everything is.
Every last thing is your fault.
What were you going to say?
He looks like he smelled something bad or he can't see anything like all the time. I think they're setting him up for his exit now. Like this, the more that they show him and the more he screws up, I think this is a setup now for he is incapable of doing this job. And so they're just setting him up now for his eventual, but we can't run him. It's going to have to be Gavin. It's a setup.
Oh my God. And here's just a little bit of what he sounded like during his teleprompted speech.
Leading tech companies like Anthropic.
What?
And I'm going to mispronounce.
Yeah, you are. Because
I'm not going to try.
No, you shouldn't try. I'm not going to try. Well, that's
better not to try and not mispronounce.
Oh my
try
God.
And mispronounce.
Oh my God.
This is what we're dealing with.
He's so done. Put all the forks in this guy. So done.
Oh my God. Also, there was a performance apparently by Gwen Stefani at whatever their nighttime activity was. You have to see the members of this administration pretending to rock out to Gwen Stefani. Now, I'll give Doug Emhoff a little bit of credit. It seemed like maybe he knew a word or two of the lyrics. Yeah. And she was singing Hey Baby, whatever that song is actually called. I'm not sure if it's actually called that, but when she's like, hey baby, hey, you know that one?
Yeah, I do. I do know that one.
I don't know if it's called Hey Baby, but that's part of the lyric. And so he's trying to dance. Jill Biden is looking at the stage with just complete confusion.
She has
Joe
no idea.
Biden is having a whole other conversation with somebody. He's not even paying attention. Kamala is trying to flirt with Justin Trudeau. The whole thing is a disaster.
And Justin Trudeau is like, I don't like women. He's like, oh my God, this is so awkward. All of it's awkward.
And look at the dude behind them is just so straight laced. I mean,
why?
You can pick somebody else to look at, and every time you watch that, just focus in on someone else, and it just gets funnier.
It's all awkward, all of it, every bit of it. They're all just standing there, what are we doing? What's going on?
Just so embarrassing.
Why do they do that? Why do they even bother having performances like that when none of them? It's just it's so strange. It's like me at a Taylor Swift concert. It's awkward. All of it's awkward.
No, you would not be awkward. You would not be awkward.
You don't think?
No, because you would meet the moment. I have every faith in you that you would meet the moment. Yes.
You think I'd meet it? Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd be dressed in all black and I'd still be I'd still be able to dance. I'd feel it. Yeah. Okay. All right.
You would.
I mean, I love you for that. I love you for that. That's sweet. I do. Okay.
Joe Biden also had this moment where I can't prepare you for what you're about to hear come out of his face. Just listen.
By the way, I guess I shouldn't identify where it occurred, but John, I know 2 people near where I live. Their kids literally, as I said, strangers, they woke up dead.
Wait, I don't understand. How can you wake up dead? Can you explain it to me? I'm not trying to.
You can't.
Okay, I just need somebody to
You don't wake
explain
up.
how.
That's the whole point.
Okay, because biologically, I don't know how that's possible. If somebody can explain to me how that even.
I mean, maybe it's like maybe he saw after death and he had a moment.
I don't understand what he is saying. What is he? Somebody make him stop. Just make him stop.
He won't. And it's starting to make even his own team cringe. So I know we talked about this yesterday when he was asked by that reporter whether or not President Xi is a dictator. But I had not seen the video of Anthony Blinken's face when he says it. And it's my new favorite video, you guys. He's so uncomfortable watching.
President, after today, would you still refer to President Xi as a dictator? This is a term that you used earlier this year.
Look, he is. I mean, he's a dictator in the sense that he is the guy who runs a country that is a communist country that is government totally different than ours.
I'm dying. That is the greatest.
Wasn't it the greatest?
God, he's so uncomfortable.
So cringe. Oh my gosh.
God. He's like, I just developed a rash in my scrotum. Oh my God.
And here's the weird thing is that Joe Biden was actually right. I mean, what he said
totally
wasn't incorrect. It's just that he's so stupid that he doesn't just think to say, you know what? I'm not going to focus on what I would call him or not call him in this moment right after we had some progress meeting together. Let's focus on the results we achieved in this meeting. Or why can't he just say something that makes sense like that?
Or better yet, just don't have a meeting with him at all. Just don't. Just don't meet with them.
You can't. No, you
really?
have to.
Trump Where?
Would.
Why?
Why do we
have to? Why? Why do we have to meet? Why do we have to meet with the guy in San Francisco? Why do we have to do that right now?
I mean, I don't know about the where, but like you have to, as a world leader, you have to meet with other world leaders.
Okay, fine, but I mean, like the whole thing and where it was and all of it was just such a weird. It was all just stupid. It was all just dumb. Like where it was, when it was, all of it. It was just, and with the whole Gavin thing, all of it was just ridiculous to me. All of it. And you know what? That's fine calling. Honestly, I don't think it was a big deal calling him a dictator. You're right. He didn't have to do it right there in that moment.
No. And he could have answered that in a billion other ways. And I think according to all of these people, the talking heads are very, very worried about what it may have done because China obviously did not react well. Here's a little bit about that.
But we heard Chinese officials reacting to the dictator comments, saying it's extremely wrong and irresponsible. Didn't that sort of, I don't want to say negate the goodwill that we made yesterday, but doesn't that put a little bit of tainted, just a little bit? Will there be a cleanup on aisle 6 today from the White House?
You know, President Biden has been more candid than I think most people would prefer in his administration. Right
now, moments later, President Biden was asked if he still believes that President Xi is a dictator. And Biden was blunt, saying, yes, he is, that he is the leader of a communist country. That is not sitting too well with the Chinese this morning, who are calling that comment extremely wrong and irresponsible.
Any concern that comment from the president is going to undo any progress you made?
No concern at all. I mean, we had a really good set of discussions yesterday, George, on a lot of topics.
Okay.
But you know, listen, if it were Trump, this would have never happened, you know, because I don't think it would have happened because there would have been the whole stance would have been different. Like the posturing would have been different. He would have gone in there and he wouldn't have been so weak, obviously. And then the discussions about like him being a dictator, I just don't even think that would have come up. I just don't know if it would have.
The press would have made sure it did. I mean, this is what they do. It's irresponsible of the press for them to even ask that question. But and maybe Trump would have handled it differently. I don't know. Because he wouldn't have been. He's very blunt.
Well, I think Trump wouldn't have been on the defense in that question. He would have been on the offense because he would have been on the offense going in.
Right.
And Biden is so weak that the questioning was so defensive rather than offensive. So I just hate where we are as a country right now. Because he's just so weak in comparison to a Xi. Whereas if it were Trump, we wouldn't have been so.
No, before the meeting ever took place, there would have been much more jockeying for position, where with Joe Biden and Xi, it's clear who's in charge, right?
Right.
I mean, it's
Totally.
absolutely clear.
Mm-hmm.
We got to talk about the pro-Palestinian protests that continue to happen across the country. This is what happened at Northwestern yesterday. And I just thought this was so hilarious. First of all, these idiots are in one of the campus buildings, which I don't think is actually allowed. This was not some pre-approved protest, but somebody's recording the idiots, and one of them, a few of them actually have tape over their mouths, and they're saying whatever their nonsense is. And you have to hear what she says to the person recording.
Please do not take photos of faces. We do not consent.
They don't consent in a public place, you guys. They don't consent to being. They do not know how protests actually work. Then
she doesn't consent, you guys.
Look at these idiots. What?
I would be taking so many pictures of that one chick.
Right.
I'd be all up in her face. I'd be like, I'm getting all the pictures of you, lady. God, what an idiot.
Just because I know you're mad about it.
God, every single picture of every angle.
It's just so.
Look at that guy.
Disheartening. It's so disheartening to see how many of them there are.
Behind sheep. Total sheep.
Yeah. And now we're starting to, because, one of the things that we've noticed, especially in the outdoor protests, is that everybody's in their matching T-shirts. They're all holding their matching signs. And you start to wonder, how is this being orchestrated? Who's behind this? Who's funding all these T-shirts to be made so quickly and all, in alignment like they are? And now we're starting to get some answers about that. Here's one report about it.
At least 4 massive pro-Palestinian rallies here in New York City and D.C. leads back to this couple. Now, the Free Press reporting tech entrepreneur Neville Roy Singham and his wife Jody Evans funneled more than $20 million to a group called the People's Forum starting in 2017. The People's Forum, headquartered in Manhattan, has pro-Palestinian signs plastered everywhere. The group proclaiming to advocate for marginalized communities. The People's Forum, with other social justice groups, organized this November 4th protest in Washington, D.C. and this rally, thousands flooding Times Square back on October 8th. The Free Press reporting the deep-pocketed couple have long been tied to social justice or Marxist movements. A New York Times investigation linking the tech entrepreneur to at least 4 nonprofits peddling Chinese propaganda. Now, Singham denies any ties to the Chinese Communist Party, but reportedly lives in Shanghai. This past June, his wife had nothing but praise for China and its political system in this YouTube video.
It's like the idea that it's an authoritarian system that controls everything is like so crazy. What a crazy notion that we've been sold.
Oh my God.
Now, we've repeatedly reached out to the People's Forum about their ties to this couple, but have not heard back. The People's Forum is co-organizing another rally to be held this Friday called Shut It Down for Palestine. Martha.
All right, CB, thank you.
Okay, so these are all the people that fund BLM, Antifa, the Chinese Communist Party, Democrat Socialists of America, I'm sure they're tied to, Democrats, liberals, progressives. That's who these people are. They are the Democrats. This is the Democrat Party, you guys. And Code Pink, by the way, is a 501c. So they're tax exempt. Isn't that neat? They don't have to pay taxes, you guys. Yay! It's so great.
So I don't know. I mean, Friday's today, so I don't know where they're I don't know if these are more New York City protests, but they're just getting out of control. We showed the ones yesterday in DC where a bunch of cops got injured. There was 1 arrest from that. 1. And I cannot believe it, because there were so many psychopaths trying to bust into buildings, and they freaking make 1 arrest. Now, thankfully, because this happened in San Francisco yesterday, they shut down an entire bridge, and happily there were 50 arrests made here. But wow. I mean, these people are absolutely
insane.
Out of control.
Yeah, insane.
Out of control.
And to say you don't have any ties to the Communist Party of China. Get
I just live in Shanghai. What? That's
oh my
normal.
God. We just choose to live in Shanghai. Okay.
My God.
Seriously.
But after all that, we do need something good. And that is that there is at least one, very, very smart Columbia student. I know that there's been a lot of crap talk about Columbia because they've been the site of a lot of these protests. But there was one, her name is Noah Fay, and she spoke at the pro-Israel rally in DC and did a phenomenal job. And this was really, really inspiring.
I am a student at Columbia University. On my campus, over 100 professors have openly advocated for Israel's destruction, justifying the murders of our Jewish sisters and brothers and defending their murderers. I have said this before, and I will say it again. I am a Black, Native American, Jewish woman, and I will not be silenced. No matter how many anti-Israel demonstrations I must walk past on my way to class, no matter how many of my professors support the students defending Hamas, no matter how many times we are told to cower in fear, I will continue to shout. Until October 7th, I think my classmates and I had forgotten not only why we love Israel, but why we need Israel. As individuals, we may have many homes. As Jews, we have but one. And I know that many of my peers, faced with so much hatred and anti-Semitism on campus, are feeling helpless and hopeless. But to them, I say, look around you. We are the Jews of the diaspora. This is how we fight. We fight loudly and we fight peacefully. We are far from helpless. We are far from hopeless. Theodor Herzl, founder of Zionism, wrote, "Whole branches of Judaism may wither and fall, but the trunk remains." We lost a beautiful branch on October 7th. We did. But as I look in front of me now, I see a very sturdy trunk. And it is from this trunk that I know more branches will grow should we will it. Toda rabba.
Love it.
Yeah, I love that whole we lost a branch, but the trunk's gonna, I like that.
Isn't that great? I just
Yeah,
loved
that's
it.
nice.
Loved it. So see, there's one smart person at Columbia, you guys. Look at her
One.
go.
There's one smart person. Isn't that nice?
Yay!
Maybe one at every university. Woo!
I know I mentioned it last week. I know that we're heading as we're gearing up for holiday season and everybody's thinking about Christmas shopping. we've promised you that our sponsors are here for you and they're going to be giving you discounts galore and we will be telling you about those discounts. I don't think we've ever had better luck with any stocking stuffer idea as we have with heat holders.
Oh my gosh,
and they are back with discounts for you guys. By the way, this is a heat holders long underwear shirt. And so it's like super warm and fuzzy. But what they're most famous for are their socks. I don't know the magic that they put in the socks.
Oh my God, you guys, they are amazing. They have like different levels.
I have all 3 levels.
Oh God.
I have these are clean and folded. So but I did that on purpose because I wanted to show people like the different levels. So like this is their thin sock, but these are way warmer than like any other, plain old regular trouser sock that you're going to buy. So this is like level 1 of warmth. And then these are level 2. You can see that they get like,
I wish you could just feel them. Oh,
I know. So soft
they're
and fuzzy.
just awesome.
But then
oh my
the
God.
king of all warm and fuzzy socks. Like
right.
They are so toasty. And I'm somebody that needs that. Like I get super, super cold feet all the time.
Too. Yeah. And in the wintertime, we have concrete floors in our house. And in the wintertime, I need these socks in the wintertime.
Yes.
Need them.
So socks are great, but they also have really warm and fuzzy gloves. Like look at the fur The furry gloves.
So
and
great.
then they have these cute hats. They have so many things that you need for winter that are perfect stocking stuffers. And if you go to heatholders.com and use code CHICKS, you're going to get 15% off your order. So stock up for yourself,
great
but also
Christmas
for
gifts.
stocking stuffers.
Yes, great Christmas gifts.
Heatholders.com. Okay. Needed to get to a report that I saw from Bill Malugin, fabulous hairman from Fox News, about some cuts that Mayor Adams is having to make because of the illegal alien situation. So I'm just going to share his tweet on the screen. It says, breaking, New York Times reports New York City's Mayor Eric Adams has announced that due to the financial impact of ongoing migrant arrivals, the city will have to make budget cuts that will reduce NYPD officers to below 30 grand and slash the education department by $1 billion, amongst other cuts. He warns that more cuts will be necessary unless the city receives more federal money to help with migrant arrivals. So if you think that this is not going to impact your city and that you're going to have to get a devolved or devalued or diminished education for your kids, that you're going to have fewer police, this is coming to a city near you. New York is just one. We're all border cities now.
Yeah. But you know what? I just look at this and I shake my head because this is a guy who for years was like, we're a sanctuary city. We're a sanctuary city.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Well, this is what you get. You know,
this is what you get. This is what New York City has voted for.
They have voted for it. They voted for this crap for forever. They wanted this. You wanted this. You got it. And so here you go. Now you get all the cuts. All the cuts. I mean, I can't feel sorry for these people.
And so what's going to happen? There's more illegals. There's going to be more crime, fewer cops to deal with it. And now the illegals are flooding the school system. They've got to find teachers that speak their languages. The education is it's like completely devolved. Everything is borked. Everything.
Sorry, not sorry. Take your medicine. Take it. Take it. Am I supposed to feel sorry for these people, Mock?
Well, the problem is that it's going to impact all of us because eventually there will be enough pressure on the federal government that they will send them money.
Listen,
they will give New York City money.
I live in Texas. It's already affected me. Wake up. It's like, it's ready. I'm ready for it to affect everybody. I'm sharing it with everybody. It's already affected me. I live in Texas. So, when all these people, all these bleeding hearts out there are like, you know what, I'm a sanctuary city. Texas is just awful. Those people are xenophobes. Well, suck it, Mayor Adams, because it's time for, listen, he was the one who used to call all of us and my governor, everybody here in the state of Texas, a xenophobe, and that we're all just like racist for not wanting to take these people in. Take your medicine. Take it.
Now, see, I feel sorry for me and all of us because we aren't living in sanctuary cities. We have voted correctly. And yet, because of this, more federal money, more of our money is going to go to cities like New York City. And I do feel sorry for me and everybody else that's going to have to pony up. You too, because you've been dealing with it in Texas. But from a federal level, you're not taxed enough yet, apparently, and you're about to be. Because I guarantee you that there's going to be enough pressure from Mayor Adams and other Democrat sanctuary city leaders on Biden that he'll be like, yeah, I'm going to raise taxes to help you guys.
Yeah,
and then we're all going to be paying for it.
Well, then stupid people need to stop voting for other stupid people. Stupid people need to start voting the right way. And they need to stop voting for stupid ass policies like this. Seriously. And then here's a thought. Close the border. I mean, seriously, why is this so hard? Why is this hard? This isn't brain surgery, people. I mean, seriously, this isn't brain surgery. We've allowed like almost 8 million illegals into this country. It's unsustainable. Just close the border. Or here's a thought, return them to where they came from.
I'm happy to pay for that.
Yeah, I'm happy to pay
temporarily.
For that. I'd be delighted.
Gosh, it's so infuriating. Now, interestingly, the reason for my name today, because I think I named myself sort of after Morning Joe, and I just put Mocking Joe, which actually works on a couple of different levels. But he said something so interesting, and I don't know if it's getting enough attention. He was talking about a poll that in New Hampshire shows that Biden has much more support than Trump, right? That Biden's going to win New Hampshire. But he said something while he was explaining why Democrats are voting that way that I thought was so interesting. Listen to this. Right here. Any minute.
They like the democratic ideas. They like freedom for women to have power over their own lives. They like 10-year-old girls having the freedom along with their parents and their clergy and their medical providers to make decisions if they've been raped by illegal immigrants. Donald Trump doesn't.
I'm sorry, what?
Yeah, we should play that again. Sorry, what? Raped by what? Raped by who?
Yeah,
Raped by who, Joe?
What?
Decisions if they've been raped by illegal immigrants. Donald Trump.
That's weird. Raped by illegal immigrants. Huh. That's
they
weird.
Need to have choices when they get raped by the illegals that we allow in.
Right.
You guys?
They have to have all the choices, you guys, when they get raped by all the illegals.
Oh my God.
Here's a thought.
Oh my God.
Maybe just not let them in, you douchebag. Oh my God.
He's so dumb that he doesn't even realize what he just said.
Yeah.
Like he doesn't even get it.
Guess who realizes it? We do.
Oh
we
my
do,
God.
Joe. You dick. I mean, my God, I can't even with this guy. Like, this is what Dems. So Dems, do you not understand? Like, maybe don't let the illegals in to rape your daughters.
Yeah, he just says it like, well, that's a given. We're always going to have illegals.
We're just going to have illegals like come in and then they're just going to rape your daughters. So we need to make sure that you guys can vote for all the abortions so they can abort the babies that, you know, come from all the illegals raping your daughters. What is wrong with these people? Seriously, what is wrong with these people?
But he's not wrong. That's the problem, is that New Hampshire will vote for Biden. There will be lots and lots and lots of, or Biden or Gavin Newsom or whoever.
Right.
There's going to be plenty of people who vote for this stupidity.
Right. Because listen, we know that our daughters are going to get raped by illegals, but we need to make sure that we put the abortion policies in place to deal with the ramifications of that.
I know. It's just, you can't even believe it.
Oh my God, you guys, I can't. It's like reasoning with these people. It's like, take my head and just give me a brick wall. I can't. My God. Wow.
Shelley, thank you. Shelley says, ideological war is how Satan led a third of the hosts of heaven to war against God. This fight against evil is an eternal war that we must fight with every fiber of our being. Pray for clarity and strength. Amen to that. Rachel Grupp, thank you. Rachel says, homeschooled 9 years, then all 4 kids in tip 10, if their classes then all 4 kids, I can make up for her mistakes. Then all 4 kids in top 10 of their classes, so smart, church, unbroken marriage, family game nights, involved. 3 of my kids, liberal AF, hate me, God, the USA, Christians.
Oh my gosh.
It is a heart problem above all. Yeah, I get it, because parents can do everything right and still end up with just shit.
I get
kids.
it. I totally get it. I know. And like there's a lot of kids who are just completely lost in this country. And I hate that. I mean, I hate it. I really do. And I know I've heard so many people and they get really mad when I say that I know it's just parenting, and I understand that. And it's very frustrating because there are so many kids who are conservative and then they do go off to college and then they turn out to be liberal schmucks. I get it. I know. And I freak out because I've got a 13-year-old and I'm like, do I really want her to go to college? Because she's the last of the 3. And if there's a drop of liberalism that I see in her coming home after her first year of college, I'm yanking her out.
Just beat it out of her.
I mean, she's not going anymore. She's just not. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Pamela J. Bennett Walton, thank you. She says, every child has inside him an aching void for excitement. And if we don't fill it with something which is exciting and interesting and good for him, he will fill it with something which isn't good for him. TR. That's a quote, I guess. And Reba Henry, thank you. Reba says, I feel the same way, Daisy, as a Belton, Texas resident. Yeah, on the Mayor Adams stuff and on the Sanctuary City stuff.
Oh my gosh, you're in Belton? We're like, that's where like our stomping grounds. I love that. I love that. Yay, Belton.
Hunter Biden apparently is facing some new charges in California. Here is that Ellie Honig guy to explain.
How significant, Ellie, do you think this is? It's bad news for Hunter Biden any way you slice this. I mean, let's remember, he already has a pending indictment in the federal district court in Delaware for the firearms-related charges, and now he potentially is looking at a second indictment out of California. And if we think about the potential tax charges here, it's important to keep in mind, when Hunter Biden went into court a few months ago with DOJ, they had a deal that he was going to plead guilty to misdemeanor tax offenses, and they agreed, DOJ and Hunter Biden agreed that he had failed to pay over $1 million in income taxes that he owed. So assuming, which I think is a fair assumption, that DOJ has evidence of that, that feels like the minimum charges he may face. It may get worse, but it's important to understand the fact that there's a grand jury does not ensure that there will be an indictment, but it certainly does make it more likely, and that's a problem.
Meanwhile,
I know.
Joe Biden is not going to be charged in the classified documents case. Can you even?
Well, I mean, this is not surprising to me at all. I mean, anytime you bring up anything about the Biden family and their crimes, I'm just kind of like, I'm just going to check out and go get another cup of coffee because nothing's going to happen to these people. Is it just me? Is it just me that feels that way?
Oh my gosh. I mean, talk about the two tiers. The dude had him just like in a crate in his garage, you know? Right. And they're like, well, we're just going to have a report that goes into detail about how bad he was. Kind of like when Hillary Clinton, you know, everybody, like, what's his name? Comey was like, well, this was super irresponsible of her, but like, we're just not going to criminally charge her. Same thing with Hunter. But just Trump, oh yeah, I mean, he as president, he actually had the right to take those documents, unlike Joe Biden at the time and unlike Hillary Clinton at the time. But Trump is the one getting charged?
Right.
What the hell?
I mean, he gets a hangnail and they're going to charge him.
God.
It's just so dumb. It's
ridiculous.
At this point, it's just so exhausting. It's exhausting. No matter what those people do, they're not going to get in trouble for it. They could do anything. They are just so above the law.
Yeah.
It's just so exhausting. I'm exhausted at this point. They can't, he can do no wrong. I mean, Hunter Biden, look at all the crap that he's done. And because he is Joe Biden's son, he just gets away with it. And he knows it. It's like he is taunting us at this point.
Yeah.
He's literally looking at all of us going, neener, neener. He is. And it's just, so I give up. I give up on that guy.
We did not get to this yesterday and meant to, but we were running a little bit long yesterday. But The Rock, there's all kinds of people trying to talk about him as a presidential candidate. I just can't.
So
can we just not?
So dumb.
But The Rock was on with Joe Rogan, and they were talking about how back in the before times, you could actually be friends with liberals and conservatives living together.
Cats and dogs.
It was fine, right? Very, very different now. Here's a little bit of how their conversation went.
As a kid, you could have a Republican friend. Like it was no big deal.
Yes.
It's no big deal. Like, oh, Bobby likes George Bush. Who
course.
cares? Who gives a
Right.
fuck? You know, you were a supporter of Bill Clinton. He liked George Bush. Nobody cared. Nobody like, fuck you. You know, it wasn't like you're a Nazi. Like I'm a Nazi. I just want lower taxes.
What the fuck are you talking about?
How did I become a Nazi?
Dude, it's the craziest thing. I have friends who support Trump. I have friends who support Biden. I have friends.
Do you really have friends who support Biden?
I do.
Come
well,
on.
No. Here's what I do. I have friends. Thank you. That's a good check because that's important. This is important context.
They support the Democratic Party.
I have friends who are loyal to the party.
Yes.
Yeah, because literally nobody supports Biden for real.
No, nobody does. But I don't understand how anybody could support the party at this point either.
They do.
I know they do. They are so loyal to that party. They are very unified, aren't they? Way more unified than we are because we're all having fist fights, you know, on the floor and like doing kidney punches. We're all kidney punching each other. Just so ridiculous.
Oh
but
my
they are.
God.
They're very unified. Why is he so oily? Why?
I don't know.
What is that?
I don't know about that. Does
he just like oil up before he goes into a room? What is that? Is that
I
like a
don't
muscle
know.
thing? Yeah.
What you are seeing on your screen right now, I just wanted to show because this is an actual job at Target. So this freak of nature that you see with the BLM fist and the pride flag has a job at Target as a senior LGBTQIA plus segmentation strategist and pride lead.
Whatever.
That's a job.
What is it?
At Target.
Segmentation strategist. I mean, you used to work in HR. Would
I
you
never
even
had that
know
job
how to
title.
like recruit for that?
No,
It would be
would not.
like, we need you. We're going to need you to segment some things.
Where you just need to strategize about segments.
I don't. Like,
And
could you
lead
imagine?
pride.
Could you imagine recruiting for this crap?
Oh my God, I could never be in HR anymore.
I know
Ever.
you would be. Well, you would have been fired like your first day because you're so politically incorrect. Because you have to be like the most politically correct person.
Yeah.
You're in HR. Like the first hour, they'd be like, "You have to leave now."
I know, man. I had it good back in the day because it was before all this crazy.
Yeah.
And it was normal. Like it was normal. I had to deal with affirmative action BS, which I hated. But none of this woke nonsense. And so, I
God.
could do the job back then. Now there's no way.
There's
no
absolutely no way that you could do it now. But my God, what in the world is this?
way. I know. Just ridiculous. Speaking of ridiculous, you know that Jeffrey Marsh character thing person on
He's a child
TikTok?
predator.
Basically, he is a dude who goes by non-binary, whatever I don't even know what his pronouns are. He's a dude, and he denies his dudeness because he claims to be whatever this non-binary bullshit is. And this latest video, I wanted to share it only because he's trying to make a point, because normally he wears like, crazy lipstick and glitter and like all kinds of makeup.
With this 5 o'clock shadow all the time.
With this all the
it's
time.
Disgusting. So gross.
So in this video, he decided to go makeup free and says that it is proof, his appearance is proof of his non-binariness, as if somehow we're not on to the fact that he's actually a dude. Look at this.
I will tell you something.
Oh God, he's so creepy.
Obvious.
So gross.
I'm non-binary from the core of my soul outward. God. It's just obvious. Even with I have a little lip gloss on, but even with no like accoutrement, even with no, what you might think of as gender expression, it's just obvious I'm a they. And it's the core of who I am as a human being. And I think that probably is what's most upsetting.
Oh, God.
No, that's not
what's upsetting to me. You perv.
Is that it's
not
so
what's upsetting to me.
We are who we are.
Mm-mm.
And we deserve dignity.
Nope, you don't deserve any dignity from me. No.
Oh my God.
What's most upsetting is that he is legit a child predator.
Is he for real?
Yeah, that guy like totally scams after kids on TikTok and stuff. He uses actual language to draw kids in. He's like, what he does is he says, don't trust your parents. Like he does that crap. He does that crap on TikTok and whatever, like social media platforms. And he's like, your parents, if they are not loving you in the way that you need to be loved, I will love you. He does that crap. This guy is a predator. He's disgusting. People like that, no.
Oh
no. Yeah.
I saw
and he's like BFFs with like Dylan Mulvaney.
Ew,
I don't
ew.
that whole crowd of like the influencers where they're trying to like break kids away from their parents. I have no time for that. None.
Yikes. I saw the best Prince gif that I thought was so apropos after we all had to sit through this nightmare video. It is so perfect.
Oh my God, yes, it is.
Right? I love this gif so much. I have so many reasons to use it. So many reasons to use it. It just
like that's a guy who was sort of androgynous. But that guy could get like so many women in bed.
Oh
Remember?
my God.
Well,
and he didn't make any bones about he was clearly a dude. He was a sexy little dude.
He was.
And he could play games with his outfits and do the makeup. He was still a dude.
And he was like, he would look at a dude and be like, I could still take your woman. I will still take your woman and I will bed her. And some dude that looks like The Rock will be like, yeah, you can. Yeah, you can. I'm oily and everything, and you can still take her. Mm-hmm. That's right.
Like I double your weight, but I know you can still get my woman.
He's like 90 pounds soaking wet. He's like, I'll still take your woman.
Teresa Raimundo, thank you. Teresa says he didn't skimp on the lip gloss for sure. It always sounds better when you add a little French to your diatribe. Accoutrement. That's right. We need some good. We need some good. Bowman Mama 8 says, oh, my eyes. That guy reminds me of creepy Tinder guy.
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
He does give creepy Tinder guy vibes, doesn't he?
Yes, totally.
That's who it is. Like at the end, he just every single time he does a video, he should just go, blessings. He should.
Oh God. So creepy. Okay, talk about your good.
Okay, my good is a bride who she gets married and she actually has her 90-year-old grandpa sing at her wedding. And it's just the sweetest thing. They have him like sitting, but he's 90, you guys. And at first I was like, I don't know about a 90-year-old singing, but this guy is fantastic. Listen.
Take my hand, take my whole life too.
I mean, can you even?
I can.
And he sang at her parents' wedding.
Falling in love with.
He's so good.
So good. Oh
Isn't
my
that
gosh.
fantastic? I mean, he's just so good. And he's 90. I think that's just the sweetest thing.
I love it.
I thought that was sweet. Grandparents. I know I've been on a grandparent kick this week. I'm sorry, but not sorry at the same time. So anyways,
oh my God.
Hug your grandparents if you still have them in your life. Hug them.
Precious.
Love them.
Precious. Robin Engelman, thank you. Oh, Robin says it's happy birthday tomorrow to Becky. Becky is going to have a birthday tomorrow. Happy birthday, Millie's mom. Okay, it's time for some My Pillow talks to take us into the weekend. We're going to start off with what is captioned as the most literal woof we have ever heard.
Oh God. That was so great. That was so great.
That was the woofiest woof in Woof Town.
Oh my God, that was so fantastic.
People are saying that this is Jillian Anderson, which I am struggling with. I mean,
I can see her, and that's her.
Oh my God. What? I cannot believe that is Jillian Anderson, but it is. And she is me when people try to tell me what to do. Because I don't like being told
what to do.
She is me.
I've realized that anytime somebody tells me to do something, I'm going to say, fuck off.
Yes.
It's me. It's
totally.
Me right there. Totally me.
I feel that.
This is probably the meanest prank that I have ever seen ever. A friend do to another friend. Now this, just so you know, this video was posted after the prank was discovered and everything is fine. Okay. So I just want to make that clear, but tell me how much you would freak out.
My friend is out of town. And so she asked me if I could bring in her food delivery and put it in her freezer. And of course I said yes, but I'm also going to put this in her freezer because that would be terrifying to find. If I didn't do this, I would, oh my gosh, this is heavy. I would regret it. One sec. Just don't want to live a life of regret. So this will be perfect for her to find.
Can you imagine?
Oh my God.
You try to ask me for favors.
That you would totally do that to me. Mock would do this to me.
I might do that.
And you know what? The caption is apropos because revenge would be terrifying. Like she would so do this to me and I'd be like, what am I going to do to get her back?
That's actually why I probably wouldn't end up doing it to you.
I would be like, what am I going to do? Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Okay. So there is this new thing where millennials are calling out, or no, maybe it's millennials who are being called out. Anyway, millennials and older, we are being called out that we are easy to spot when we dance because we put our hands in the air. Like we just don't care.
We do a lot of this.
We do a lot of hand in the air movements.
Okay.
And apparently this guy made a video saying, we know exactly your age whenever we see you dance this way. So this woman is just going to play like the teeniest part of that video, but she is losing her shit appropriately at the comments on that guy's video, which are everything. Watch.
You know what's giving away your age? She was like, you keep putting your hands up. And I was like,
If you haven't watched that video, please go watch it. It's basically now Gen Z saying they can tell millennials in the club because we put our hands up when we're dancing. But the comment section on this is just something else. But the roof's not going to raise itself. So we were literally instructed to put our hands in the air. Like we just
It's our legacy.
It's our legacy.
I can't shake it like a Polaroid picture. With my hands going to my
How am I supposed to shake it?
You
like
can't shake it like
picture?
a Polaroid picture. Yeah, you can't.
There were so many. Anyway, we could go on forever with all the comments. It was glorious. So, but anyway, I just
And
wanted
like,
to
who
show a little bit of
dances like this? Who
Right.
does it?
I
What's
don't
wrong
even
with
know
you?
how not to dance. When,
This generation, man, is no fun. What is wrong with this generation? They have too many freaking rules.
And then, like, what about single ladies? Put your hands up. What are we supposed to do?
I know. Well, apparently not pay attention to the instructions. God.
There are so many songs that refer to getting your hands up and like putting them in the
Barnett
air.
said, tag team taught me to put my hands in the air and dance as if I just don't care. Exactly.
That is our legacy.
Uh-huh. Right.
I mean, I don't know why. I don't know how people dance without their hands. You got to raise the roof. That's right.
You look like an
raise
idiot
the roof
if you don't use your hands and your arms.
But this is a thing now. Apparently, Gen Zers don't move their arms. I did not know that, but anyway, that was something that everybody needs to know.
Really
we have
weird.
some guilty dogs to share. So precious.
Oh my God.
Who made all this mess? You did it. You have nothing to do with it, Huxley.
Oh my
Bailey, did you finish Annalisa's breakfast this morning?
No, I didn't do it.
You left and there was
I
still
can't look
food
at
on
it.
this plate.
I did
Who
not.
ate it?
I'm looking away. I'm not here. I'm
Couldn't
not.
have
I'm
been
in the
you,
next
huh?
room.
No.
This is my favorite.
What is this?
Oh my God.
Was this you?
Oh my God. No, I don't.
Did you poop?
Oh no.
Oh my God.
Oh no.
So many things destroyed.
Oh no. Oh, I'm licking my lips.
Oh my gosh.
Monty, was it you that knocked over the rubbish bin?
Monty.
What about you, Pepper?
Here, I'm just gonna put my shoe on.
Oh no. I didn't mean to do it. It is a
What? I don't see anything.
It
I don't
was
know
a
what you're talking
moment
about.
of
I
Oh
go
my
to
God.
Snoopy. He's got his ears peeled back and his tail was tucked. So I held this up and I was like, Snoopy, what is
Oh.
this?
Oh my God.
Yeah?
Jeez.
Did you have to do it?
Jeez. That is hysterical.
Oh, I love
The
guilty
faces
dogs
when
so
they
much.
smile when they do the thing. That's so great.
My
It's
dogs
just
have
so-
never done that ever.
They haven't.
Mm-mm.
Now Coda does this thing. I need to get it on camera. He does this thing where he'll do a snarl face. He does a snarl face, and I need to get it on camera. 'Cause
Yeah,
I've never
for
had a
sure.
dog that's ever done like a legit snarl face. If you put like something in his face that he doesn't like, he'll go. He does like a strange, and it's all mushy and snarly. It's fantastic.
Oh my
So
gosh.
I
you
got to get it
have
on
to.
camera. It's so
For
great.
sure.
Mhm.
We have voiceovers that include your favorite naked cats.
So you supposed to be my new brother, huh? I really want to bite you right now, but they seem to love you. They told me to show you around, so I'm gonna show you something. I'm gonna show you this ass whooping. I'm gonna whoop you if you don't get out this house. This is my house. Stop! I'm playing by myself. Stop, man. Why don't you go find some matching pants for your shirt or something? Leave me alone. Stop, man. You know I'm too fast. Stop. You know I'm too fast for you, man. Stop, man. I'm trying to play with my. Stop. Look here. These are my toys. I'm playing with my toys today. And you over here shaking all your hair on my bed. You know I don't like that hair on my. You know I don't like the hair on my bed. Get away.
I'm sorry.
Don't look at her. She can't help you.
She can't help
Don't open my gate. I told you, Frank, don't come over here no more. We not friends no more, man. You shouldn't have did what you did, man. Get on. I ain't even gonna look at you, man. I can't stand to look at you, man. Get from in front of my gate. Get from in front of my gate. Hey, you still in there? Hey, she's still in there? You know she's still in there? Hey, hey, you know you still in there? Open the door. Open the door. Come on. Wait, bro, look. This her phone. It's under the door. What she doing? She taking the recorder. What's that, her phone? Yep. Let me see. Move out the way. Move out the way. You still in there?
Oh, my God.
Oh my gosh. And then also Stella. You got to love Stella and her love of leaves. Here she is. Look at her face. She just sits in there.
That is so precious.
Isn't it? They have the best yard. Oh my gosh.
They really do have a great yard. Look at all the leaves. I mean,
know,
that's one thing we don't get a lot of here in Texas is leaves. We just have a lot of mesquite trees that basically have like terror claw things on them.
Oh my God.
I mean, they just have a lot of like the big, you know what I'm talking about? If you guys know what I'm talking about, if you're Texas-y people, they just have like very like terrifying things on them, like those big mesquite trees, and they just have big, I don't know, like they're very like sharp and terrifying.
Yikes.
Yeah. I could use them as weapons. They're not like pretty leaves, That's one thing I do miss about like places.
Yeah.
The spiked balls. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Mesquite barbs. They're kind of terrifying. Yeah.
Elizabeth Etter, thank you. Elizabeth said, crying listening to that granddad sing. My dad had the best voice and he passed right at a year ago.
Oh.
Going wedding dress shopping with my daughter this weekend. So wish my dad could be here to sing at her wedding.
Oh my gosh. That's
well,
very,
congratulations
very
on the upcoming wedding, though. That's super happy. So yay for that. Also, announcement. I know you've got gifts to share.
Got 2 gifts to share, and then we have some flaps. Yeah.
Yes, and flaps. But also wanted to, before I forget, make an announcement that Monday is going to be the only show that we're doing next week. Monday, we will be here with bells on. But then that's it for Thanksgiving week. And then we'll be back, obviously, the following Monday.
Because you're traveling and I've got family coming in.
Yeah.
Thanksgiving week is next week, you guys. Yeah.
I know. So
very exciting.
Very exciting.
Yes. I mean, we're going to miss you, obviously, but Monday's our only day. So do you want me to do gifts really quick right now? I'll do gifts real quick and then we can bring it in.
Let's bring it in first in case people don't want to stay for gifts.
Yes, let's bring it in. We're bringing it in. You guys bring it in, bring it in. No, Memo Z, I'm so excited to eat. Thanksgiving is seriously one of my favorites. I love Thanksgiving. It's a very close second to Christmas. I love Thanksgiving so much. Okay, so I got from Rebecca Carter. I got these. She said she found these cats and she thought they would be perfect for me because they're low maintenance and they keep each other company. Look at these cats.
What in the world? Why are they clothed?
Look. They're cats. They're cats, you guys. They're going to keep me company. So thank you, Rebecca. Those are super cute. I'm going to put them in my guest room. I've got like a cute little bench. I can put them on in my guest room. And then yesterday, Alexandra, she was like, you got to pick up this gift. And I totally did. And these are, people are like really going overboard with cat gifts. This is hear no evil, see no evil, speak no evil.
They're naked cats.
They're naked cats. Alexandra, oh my gosh. Like seriously.
Oh my gosh.
And we'll add these to my naked cat collection.
It's becoming quite a collection.
It's becoming quite the collection of naked Sphinx cats. So that's my ever-growing
It's rivaling
collection.
my raccoon collection.
I know, right? Me and the naked cats, you and the raccoon. Thank you so much. Okay, I'm gonna go get Astrid. Hold on one second.
Okay, and I'm gonna embiggen the screen so that we can make sure to see her in all of her flapularity glory. I know, only one day next week, you guys.
She's coming.
Just the one. Okay, here she comes.
It's a Friday flap. You guys,
Friday
flap. Come over here. Come here. Friday flap. Come here. Ooh. Oh, it was a good one. That was a really good one. Somebody said,
really good.
Finks be with you, Daisy. Oh my gosh, I know.
Yes. And also with you.
And also with you. Yes. Okay, everybody have a fantastic Friday and a wonderful weekend. We will talk to you on Monday.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.